All right, we're back Tuesday night. All right, it's Tuesday. Already it's Tuesday. Crazy. All right, we got big stuff going on. BYB, Biloxi, May 28th. Lots of fights, lots of bare knuckle, lots of blood, just the way I like it in the mighty Trigon. So, to all my people out there, bare knuckle, baby, as you know, it's one of my favorite sports on planet Earth, and I love doing this stuff. So, it's Taco Tuesday. Get your taco, get your tequila. We're going to get started. Sonya Dreiling's coming on. She's got a big fight coming up at the Biloxi Brawl, May 28th in Mississippi. She's going to be going against Miranda Barber, who I had on last week, and she gave nothing but respect to Sonya. So we're going to get Sonya's thoughts, her thoughts on bare knuckle, her thoughts on the Trigon, and her upcoming match. So I'm going to bring Sonya on right now, and then at 7 o'clock, we got Jordan Mitchell, who's fighting for the heavyweight title against Tony Lopez. And Tony Lopez had quite a bit to say about Jordan Mitchell, so I can't wait to get Jordan's response on all that. So without further ado, Sonya. Sonya.
Hey.
What's up? All the way from Alabama. Thanks for joining tonight.
Appreciate you having me. I'm excited to be here.
It's my pleasure. You know, first thing I always ask people that debut in bare knuckle, why bare knuckle? What made you go that route?
You know, it's something I've always wanted to try. I love boxing. Don't get me wrong. I love my MMA too. I played around with MMA. I've never really competed in it. You know, I like rolling on the mats. I like doing all that stuff. But, you know, I used to get in trouble when I was a kid because I had hands and I wasn't afraid to hit people. So it's something I kind of grew up doing. It was,
I could definitely get you in trouble right there.
Yes. Got in a lot of trouble actually, but I was kind of one of the smaller kids of the generation, so everybody I grew up with was a lot older. Of course, so I got picked on a lot, so I had to defend myself. Had no problem doing it. So it was always something that was in the back of my mind, like, hey, you know, yeah, I've watched the Russian shows that they do on, you know, YouTube and stuff where they're doing the sand pit fights and, you know, the hay bale fights, and I'm like, oh my God, that was so much fun. So when they finally brought bare knuckle to the States, I was like, oh, this is cool. I was in Colorado at the time. They put on the one in Wyoming. You know, I was pretty excited. And then everyone's like, oh my God, that was just too brutal. And, you know, I got a lot of negativity from it. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, well, I didn't really know how to take it at that point. I was just like, you know, I had some coaches that are classic boxing coaches. They're like, oh no, that's just ridiculous. Don't do it. And then I had some that were like, oh yeah, that's going to start a whole nother, you know, genre of fighting. And it kind of progressed from there to, you know, I had played around a little bit with trying to get some offers to do some bare knuckle. And finally I linked with the BYB and did my last one, my debut. And I loved it. I fell in love with it.
It was like, because, you know, you get in there with another professional fighter and you're going for blows bare knuckle fisted. You know, it's a lot different than a typical ball brawl with a couple of drunks going at it. This is calculated fighting, professional fighting at a whole different level. So what was that like when that, you know, that first shot connected, you landed your shot, you know, what was going through your head? Was it a bunch of adrenaline? Like,
oh gosh, yeah, your adrenaline's going. I think your ability to be very more in tune with your surroundings, you know, getting in there, you're a lot more alert. You know that one wrong move, one wrong slip, you know, you're a lot more cautious because that's all it takes is just one. And bare knuckle, it just takes one. And we've seen it time and time again with a lot of the fights. It's like, wow, you know, he was doing great. And then it just, that one hit. So yeah, I would say your peak performance mentally is just, it's beyond, it's amazing. You know, you fall in love with it because you start processing things. You know, I wouldn't say you become complacent in boxing because you challenge yourself with more advanced fighters and stuff like that. But when you take it a step further with somebody that's, you know, amazingly skilled as well, you know, and you're trying to process, you know, the gloves aren't slowing you down. There's so much more. It's so much more fast paced.
What was a fight for you like when you were like, wow, I got to do this? Like there had to be a standout like bare knuckle fight that you watched and you were like, I'm hooked. Like I got to try this. Like was there any specific fight that stood out or fighters that you were like, you know, I want to do this just like them?
Yes. Gosh. I've been watching Fiera. She's an amazing fighter. When she first came into it, I was like, oh, this is awesome, and she backs whatever she says, she backs it. So I was like, oh, this is cool. So I started kind of watching her a little bit. And of course then we've seen the Paige Van Zant stuff coming out. And I'm looking at these Killer Bee, you're watching these girls and you're just like, wow, they're having a blast with it, and I'm like, that's where I want to be with my sport. I want to enjoy what I'm doing. So, when I was like, oh, I got an opportunity to let's do this with somebody that's, has a record. Erin's a great fighter. I ain't gonna give her. She played it smart. She's great. We all have our
top 5 in
strengths.
MMA, top 5 in boxing, ranked. Very, very.
Like I said, I ain't got nothing negative to say. It was a learning experience for me. I did enjoy every moment of it because it takes you to a whole nother level of fighting and just everything that goes with it. If you're an adrenaline junkie, oh my gosh, that's right up your alley.
Yep. What about the Trigon? What did you think of that? Close quarters. I always ask people that because I think it's such an interesting dynamic to fighting, being in such close quarters, being in this phone booth, So what was that like for you, moving around and stuff like that in there?
I wouldn't say it was too much difference. If you're a fighter that does back up quite a bit and gets put on the ropes, I think you'd have an issue. But if you're an aggressive fighter or somebody that keeps coming forward, just doesn't stop or works your angles really well, I would say it is a lot. There's no room to run, of course. But as far as difference, if you got the training, you're not going to see it too much. You know what I'm saying? So it's not too big of a concern to me. Especially if you get caught in a corner, if you're bad about getting out of them, that's kind of on your own. That's your training. You better figure out quick how to spin out and how to maneuver and, angle yourself enough to throw your opponent to the side. Do what you got to do. But, that comes down to training too. Yeah,
that's like survival of the fittest at that point. Like you got to get yourself.
That's no brainer at that. Yeah, that's why I'm like,
Yeah, we saw, Miranda's fight, because you got that fight coming up. She did a great job, and her angles were great. She was making sure she wasn't getting boxed into any corners. She was moving around a lot, obviously throwing bombs, and it paid off. So she gave you a lot of respect. I spoke to her last week. She gave you a lot of respect. She said anybody that gets in that bare knuckle ring, I respect. And
same here.
She had a lot of great things to say about you. So did you see her fight? What did you think of her fight? Tell me what was going on in your head.
I did. When we watched Skylar go down, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting. So I watched Skylar warm up. She was in my, up in our little locker room area, and so I was like, oh, okay, so I got to see the opponent, and then I got to see Miranda, and that was a good fight. Skylar was ready. She was warmed up. She was good to go. Unfortunately, it didn't go her way, but on the other hand, Barber, she's tough. I ain't gonna lie, she's a tough one. She had amazing skill with it. I thought that was pretty cool. Just kind of the way that she'd move. That was interesting to me because I was like, oh, this is kind of cool because I wouldn't call it bullying in the ring, but she knows how to put you in a position where she can control you, which is awesome. And that's kind of what she did in there, where she would, she'd push off and she knew exactly the timing when she was going to throw that next hit. And, she set it up with those combos. I was like, oh, that's nice. She's got some skill. That was cool to see. That's the stuff you like to see because it's like, wow, that's a different kind of fight style, and I'm always up to learning. I always like seeing different stuff, and it's like, that's interesting. That's cool to see. And so to get in there with somebody like that as well, I call it your little treasure box. You start collecting little things that you learn from other people and, you build your own style off it too. So, it's kind of interesting to see that.
It really is. And she, so the other thing too is I was wondering when did this come about? Like when did you hear about this fight? Was this, because these fights are fairly close to one another. We just had BYB 9, and here we go again. Just a couple months later in 10th. So did you find out fairly right after your fight that this was a potential fight for you next, or did you go through some other people? Like what was the process?
Yes. BYB is awesome. I ain't gonna lie. Like hands down, probably one of the best decisions I've made. You know, 'cause I made some dumb decisions a few, you know, throughout the line here, but this is probably one of the best decisions I've made is with BYB. So it was something that, you know, I was like, because Miranda's 155 pounds. You know, every fight that I've fought, you know, the last two and stuff, I've came in about 160, 161 pounds. So I've always been wanting to kind of move down anyways. I know I fight out of my, everybody sees me like, there's no way you're fighting at 165. You don't even look it, you know, and it's like, well, I am, but, you know, I pack it well. But so I've always wanted to kind of move down in weight, but seeing that in the boxing aspect of it, seeing Miranda Barber in the boxing aspect and box rec and stuff. So I've seen her before. So it's like, you know, to bring this to bare knuckle instead, that's awesome. Because you can always set up a boxing match, but to set up a bare knuckle with another professional boxer, come on. That's hard to find right now. You can do MMA and boxing, so but get two professional boxers in there that, you know, we're busy workers. I ain't gonna lie, we keep it busy. You know, and that's kind of how I enjoy doing a fight. I don't like the whole she keeps it busy. That's that distance game. I'm okay with it. You know, we're both gonna play it smart. It slows the fight down, things like that. It's not as very interesting and fast paced. So to see Miranda Barber get in there and see how fast paced she is, I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to have some fun with that.
Oh,
you know,
100%.
That's kind of when you go with it.
And we've seen a lot, you know, in bare knuckle, a lot of fights are ending on the inside. You know, boxing, obviously, you know, it's a different pace. It's a totally different combat sport, really. And it's funny because like when bare knuckle just started coming around, a lot of people said, oh, it's just like boxing with no gloves. Not necessarily. I mean, we're seeing a lot of different things, you know, that Thai plum clinch, you know, people working inside, angling more, trying to pivot to get that power shot in, because, you know, you have to be inside to really win a fight, unless you have insane power. And we've seen that
to deliver that good shot.
You know, yeah. So, you know, I find it interesting to see two boxers in a bare knuckle ring, because, you know, how are you guys going to go about it? You know, is it going to be a boxing match with no gloves on, or is it going to be a bare knuckle fight, clinching, you know, working inside? So you know, you've seen, I'm going to pull up some of your footage too from your last fight, and I wanted you to just kind of tell me what's going on in your head during this fight. So I'm gonna pull it up, and it's great. I mean, this was such a cool fight to watch. I really thoroughly.
It was completely different for me. It didn't go as I expected at all. So it was a very interesting fight.
Yeah, let's take we got a guy on here. Hold on, let's get rid of him. We're on the tube, so you know how that goes. But here we are. You know, so what's going on in your head right now? We're in round one.
So round one, I'm trying to time her and see where she's coming out with things. I'm catching a lot of hits. You know, you can see where I see where she's jabbing. I'm trying to figure out, okay, so she's coming at me. You know, what's the best way to get underneath that jab? Because she's got the reach. I ain't gonna lie, she had reach on me, like, oh my gosh. So that was kind of really hard to get up underneath there for that. My other one is you know, your hands. That's going to get you through your 5 rounds. So I'm not going to be trying to hit something that's, you know, like the groin protector. I didn't like that very high. It was what it was, but I had to pick and choose kind of where I would hit in the stomach, because it was, you know, when I got back to the corner, I was like, there ain't no way I can get to that stomach, you know, that's between the chest protector and the groin protector. You only got so many inches, and I'm not going to hurt my hands if I got to go through 5 more rounds here. So, you know, I was just trying to figure out what's the best way to get in on her. That was pretty much just play around the first round. Mm-hmm. I let her feel some power hits, because it was like, you know, I want you to be just as scared to come at me as I am. You know, we're both watching our hands. You know, and at one point, I'm watching this right now. Sorry.
What was like a takeaway for you? Like, you know, something that you learned right away, like, you know, first time in, first round, you know, what was like something that stood out, like where you had to make maybe some changes for the second round?
As far as being like being afraid of getting hit with the jab, wasn't that went away after like the second hit, because it was like, okay, the pain ain't even what I thought it was going to be. as far as like in boxing, it's more of a longer numbing pain when you get hit. Bare knuckle, it's just an instant and it goes away. You got the adrenaline going with it. You know, uh, fighting with Erin, it was nice to see because she used the reach, which was great. But what got me was, and this is where I think that I was too hesitant to come in on, was she kept that right hand loaded. And I knew, that's where that playing it cautious came in, was you're a lot more cautious about that. It just takes one hit. And so when I seen her loading up that right hand, I was like, okay, it takes that one. So I didn't want to get caught with the right hand either. So it was just trying to figure out how to still get in. I'm short. It was a very awkward, interesting fight for me, but it did challenge me, which was kind of cool. As far as future training and stuff, because, not everybody's the same height. You're going to come up with different challenges, which is kind of cool. And I did enjoy it. There's a few things I worked on. I don't want to give it all away, so I'm trying to pick and choose kind of how I put things.
No, of course,
training wise.
I think, yeah, of course, and when I talked to Miranda, we had a really good conversation, just like we're having right now, and she made some funny comments too. She's like, I'm a ginger, she's a ginger, I call it the ginger dream, the ginger dream match. This one here. Yes. Did you see any of any of the comments that she made from the previous interview that I did with her, or is it what I'm telling you brand new?
This is everything you tell me is brand new. I haven't had time. I've been between full-time work and fight camp. It's been an interesting ordeal the past month.
Yeah, I bet. And that's the other thing. I see. So I try to stay as positive as I possibly can. And I see a lot of stuff on social media. People talk so much shit, like they always have something to say, especially people that have never been in the trenches before. I feel like they're the worst, right? So,
it was judgmental.
It's like the craziest thing, it's like, you got to understand something, like fighters, especially on the come up, you got a job, maybe 2, maybe 3 jobs. Like me, I'm a nut job. I work 3 jobs, but you're on top of that, I train, I don't fight, I just hit stuff that doesn't hit me back. But you're preparing for battle, you're preparing for war. So you're trying to be a professional fighter, maintain, household as well. So like, what do you do? Like, what's your day job?
My day job, I work for the China paper plate company. I'm one of their control operators. We deal with the machines that make the plates, to the robotics, we have all kinds of fun with it. Probably one of the hands down best companies I work for. So I'm very proud of them. So I do that full time. We do 12-hour shifts. We rotate days and nights. So it's chaos. Wouldn't change it for the world though, because I do enjoy my job. And then I coach on the side, personal train on the side. I work corners for fighters that, they need corner man, stuff like that, cut man. We did that just this last weekend here in Alabama. 116 Promotions put on a show. Brandy McCain, we did the Hall of Fame for the Alabama inductees and stuff. So it was really kind of cool to see that. But yeah, I do a lot of stuff, community service, you name it. I just try to stay busy.
That's great. Yeah, you have to, right? You have to. I think it's like at least for me, it's a level of sanity. If I'm
most
not
definitely.
Busy, I'll chill. I'll watch some Netflix. I gotta have that time to relax. You know what I mean? It's good for the head. But yeah, I gotta be on the go. I gotta be busy all the time.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about this fight. So we got this fight coming up May 28th. You and Miranda, right? We set the table. Now let's talk about it. What are your thoughts going into this fight? Obviously, we don't want to give away secrets, but what are your intentions for this fight? What do you plan on doing, Miranda?
That's the common question. I don't give anything away. I have studied, I have trained, I've made some adjustments. A lot of my fights, I don't ever fight the same fight style. I fight accordingly, I always say. So it's kind of interesting to see, they're not always the same fight. And that's kind of what it comes down to. Is you're not going to always get the same opponent, same fighting style. So it's going to be interesting. I'm excited. I know she's going to be fast. I know she's going to bring some power hits with it, which is great because I know she's a heavy swinger. I've seen her prior opponents, and I know, kind of what category they're in. So I know where she's at too. So it's kind of cool to see, as far as training and stuff has gone, things I've worked on. So I think going into this fight, it's going to be a very, very busy fight. It's going to be an interesting one. She's not one to back down. I'm not one to back down. So that's really kind of cool to see. She's a tough cookie. I ain't gonna lie. I've seen who she's hung in with, and I'm like, dang, she's on that same level, which is cool. I love seeing that. So mad respect to her. I'm excited to get in there. So just kind of where we're at with things, just taking it as is.
I am super excited. I got some questions too in the chat from my friend Dan Stevens over there. I'm gonna pull one up. He's got a funny question, it looks like, and a serious one. So what do you want first? You want the funny or the serious one first? It's really,
let's be serious and we'll end it with the funny. I like that.
All right. Deal. Let's do it. So Dan wants to know, what did you see in your last fight that would be the biggest thing to work on in your bare knuckle game? So we kind of touched on that a little bit, but if you wanted to elaborate, go for it.
Catching hits. As far as catching them, that's great. I ain't gonna try catching hits. We ain't trying to catch them in the palm no more. We're good. That opens up for a lot of mistakes to be made. Anytime you have open palm in there, that it was something I had to be more aware of. Because in boxing, it doesn't matter if your palm's open. If you hit hard, with the glove on, no one's going to see it, but you're going to hurt yourself kind of thing. But doing that in bare knuckle, it does potentially put you in a spot of, one, it doesn't look very good because it does look like eye gouging. It does look like you're, it just looks bad. So keeping my hands closed, that was something I had to work on. So going in there, it keeps it a lot cleaner. When you go in for a clinch, it's a lot easier to, open your hand than to have it open and trying to get into a clinch on the, to hold and stuff like that. So, that was something I did see was, where I keep my hands, because they're not in the glove anymore, that was kind of something I took from it as well. One of the simple things, some of the stuff I ain't gonna say because I don't want to give it out. So
I agree. We gotta keep these secrets. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm Italian, so it's like the mob. You gotta.
Oh.
You gotta keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying?
If I tell you something's gonna happen to you,
get yourself in trouble when you talk too much. And then
exactly.
Another one. I don't know if Dan, we're gonna give it a shot. I'll ask her this question. I don't know if she's gonna get it because I don't know if she's ever seen me with a beard before. But my guy, he's funny. He said, "Hey Sonya, what should Migz do? Facial hair or no facial hair?" I don't think she's ever seen me with facial hair. So
I don't know.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? We were just talking about this though. It's funny because being down south here, we had a guy that came from Colorado, and him and another guy at our job, they had decided that they're gonna the handlebar mustache. That is normal in Colorado. I have seen that growing up my whole life, but apparently down south here, that's kind of an awkward thing to do. I'd encourage the handlebar mustache. I think that's a good to go.
Give it a shot.
Bring it back.
I'll go Mario Luigi if I have to, We'll do it.
There you go.
Forget about November. We'll just get it going now.
Hey, bring it back. There was nothing wrong with it.
Damn right. Well, Sonya, thank you so much for joining and coming on here because it's going down, ladies and gentlemen. May 28th, Biloxi, BYB 10. It's ladies' night, if you ask me. Because
it is ladies' night. I'm excited. It's gonna be great.
We got a lot of women's fights coming up, and Dreiling, Barber, it's going down. We got two heavy hitters going down. This is a fight you definitely don't want to miss. If you're a bare knuckle fan, this is one fight you do not want to miss. I am super excited to see this fight. I can't wait to see it. I will be front row for that. I am. I want to be in the splash zone. I like.
Heck yeah.
Hit me with some blood. I don't care. It's all good. COVID don't scare me. So listen, I wish you the best of luck out there. Thank you so much for joining. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for both you and Miranda because I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. Very entertaining for the fans.
Heck yeah. See you guys then.
Thank you, Sonya. Have
Thank
a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there we have it. Round one. So it's a doubleheader tonight. Sonya came on. We had to talk about it, and we talked about it. So now I got Jordan Mitchell. He's on the road right now. There's a little bit of traffic. He's ready to pull over. He's going to pay the toll, pull over, and we're going to get this going because should I show you guys right now? Should I wait till – I think I'm going to wait till Jordan gets on. But just to give you a little backstory. So Tony Lopez – Jordan Mitchell are going to go head-to-head for the BYB heavyweight title on May 28th. It's a packed card. If you're a bare knuckle fan, this is a card you don't want to miss. It's going to be incredible. With that being said, okay, so Dan, Jordan's your indie brother. That's awesome. Jordan's a good dude. I can't wait to talk to him. So I will definitely mention that to him. Let me throw some background music on. I feel like it's too quiet over here, right? Let's do that. 3 to 5 minutes, guys. 3 to 5 minutes. I got a yap for the next 3 minutes. If anybody's got questions, let me know. Holla. I'll answer questions, I guess. I don't know. But before that, Tony Lopez, I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about it because he had an insanely great fight against Josh Burns. He won. If you missed it, check it out on YouTube. But now he's fighting for the BYB heavyweight title. I think it's pretty amazing. Tony's pushing 50. He's fighting for a belt. I think it's awesome. But he had a couple of things to say to the much younger Jordan Mitchell. He said that he was going to basically knock him out within 3 rounds. That was the prediction. He said maybe he's going to train for it. Maybe he'll put a full camp in it. So I got to get Jordan's response. I mean, how does another fighter respond to his opponent that said maybe he's going to train a little bit and predicting a knockout on top of it? We're going to find out. We're going to find out because Jordan, a couple of minutes, we're going to have him on. But I was at BYB 8 in Miami. Had a blast. Shout out to my guy, Paulie Malignaggi, who's color commentary with Goldie. I think they do a phenomenal job over there at BYB. So if you haven't checked them out, you may want to check them out. You know what I will do while we're waiting for Jordan? I'm going to show you. Actually, now this music's kind of annoying me. So I'm turning that off. I'm going to show you Jordan's last fight. This was a dope fight. So, yeah, let's get it on. It's a first-round knockout against Steve Townsend. So, let's do that.
This could be one big bomb away from being over.
Bomb.
Townsend goes down. And I told you about the quickness. He's got some quick.
My man dropping bombs. He came out swinging.
Surprises you the way he brings it. I thought it would surprise me the fact that Townsend took the first one. I mean, Mitchell landed a big shot a few seconds before, and Townsend took it. Now Townsend's still fighting back. Townsend bull rushing here, trying to answer, and Kai needs a shot. Goes down again.
I gotta get Jordan's take on this because I did find the ending of this fight very interesting. It looks like they got tied up, and then they both fell, and then the fight was over.
Boy, he loaded up. He practiced.
See, right here. And now the ref automatically waves it off. So I want to pull that back a little bit.
Stamina comes into play when it's this fast.
I want to get an idea.
Mitchell getting a rest every time he gets a knockdown. Boy, he loaded up. He practiced.
See, the last punch I see thrown is from Townsend. They both trip and fall. Now the fight's over. So I don't know if it was because of the previous 2 knockdowns, and the ref was just like, "Hey, you know what? That's enough." So I want to get Jordan's take on it. I'd love to talk to Steve about that one too. But obviously, these guys got a lot of respect for one another. So that's always really cool to see. Much respect to these guys getting in there.
These are two badasses. Can we say? I think we can. I mean, it's like 2 Kodiak bears that look like something from the Discovery Channel. And I love the respect. I love the respect that Center Tri got now.
This guy said something from the Discovery Channel. My God. My God. Anyway, so we're going to get Jordan on in a couple minutes. Thanks for hanging in there. To the couple of you that are hanging in. I'm looking forward to it. So, Dan Stevens, appreciate you joining, my brother. Anthony Cruz, thank you for joining. Appreciate you. I'll take an intermission until my guy gets back. So, be right back, guys. Got to do it. Gotta get up. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do. I haven't used StreamYard in a while, so if anybody's got any tips for me, I forgot how to use this damn app. I like it too. I like StreamYard a lot. But I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll figure it out. Hey, anybody know how to do like a commercial break on this thing? Do I just got to pull up a video and walk away? Is that the move? I don't know. So I got a couple events coming up. We got BKFC's coming up. I shouldn't even mention the the other promotion, but I got a show coming up Friday. It's going to be cool, doing some cool collaborations. Oh, Iron Man's in. Let's do it. I don't have to ramble anymore, get myself in trouble. So here we go. Jordan Mitchell, we're bringing him in. We got to talk about it.
How you doing?
There he is. Jordan, how you doing, my friend?
Good. How you doing, man? Sorry, man. I had to hurry up and pull over. Couldn't find a gas station to get to.
Oh, no, bro. I appreciate you, in traffic and all, paying those tolls, pulling over to join me. I greatly appreciate you, my brother. Thank you.
Appreciate you for having me.
Absolutely, man. We got big things to talk about. I mean, I just showed a clip from your last fight. I wanted to get a couple of words from your last fight at BYB8 in Miami because, that was a wild fight. I was there. I was front row for that one. I saw it. I witnessed it. And it was quick. It was action-packed. As soon as that bell rung, you were like a bull in a china closet. You came out swinging, looking for that knockout. Was that your game plan, or when that bell rung, or just like a switch flip?
No, that was my game plan, man. Because at the time, I was still dealing with my grandma's death. It happened last year in June.
Much respect and my prayers, brother.
Thank you. And it never left my mind. It's probably never gonna leave my mind. So, and I know I wasn't training, I wasn't putting the work in to do anything. So I was like, I need to hurry up and get this guy out. So I was downstairs. I was telling myself, I was saying some evil stuff in my head just to be able to take it out. Because if I didn't do what I had to do, then I would have lost. Because I had no training and I wasn't focused until I got down in that dressing room, putting all that thoughts in my head. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was impressive, man. There was a few, a couple knockdowns there. I mean, you were landing some bombs, bro. There was one particular part of the fight when the fight ended, and obviously you scored 2 knockdowns right out the gate. That last one, it looked like you guys got a little tied up. It looks like the last punch that was thrown, it didn't land, was from Steve. As soon as both of y'all went down on the ground, the referee called the fight. Do you know why the referee decided to make that call? Was it he just felt, you know what?
Yeah, at first, I thought he caught me too. I had to go back and look at him. Like, damn, did he knock me down? And then I tripped. All my momentum, all that from my left hook I threw. I think he just seen enough, and I think Steve fell over again. He like, okay, that's enough. So yeah, that's why I think he was just seen enough. Cause I know there was a no 3 knockdown rule, so that's what I said. I think he's seen something that nobody else could see.
What did you guys say to each other? Because interesting, y'all gave each other a hug in the middle of the Trigon. What words did you guys share after that fight?
We just congratulated each other, and I was thanking him for bringing the best out of me. One of the best, the monster that's sleeping for a while out of me, and I was just that. It wasn't nothing. Just he was just telling me congratulations. I really can't remember because I was emotional, so that's really all right now.
Well, yeah, you know what, man, you put your demons to use, brother. You put those evil thoughts to use in a positive way. Won you the fight. It was a great victory for you in the first round. The crowd, I was there. The crowd was going wild for that fight, man.
A lot of people talking about me. He's fat. He can't do nothing. I was like, everybody's coming up to me after the fight, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. We still usually how you looked, and we thought you wasn't gonna do nothing. So I've been an underdog all my career. So,
but you're a heavyweight, bro. I mean, heavyweights are big guys. I mean, you want to talk about the way people look. I mean, look at Tyson Fury. I mean, that guy doesn't look like an athlete, and he'll be the first to admit that, right? But it's not about what you look like; it's about what you do. So much credit to you, bro. Now Was there any idea, like, did BYB say anything to you before the fight or immediately after the fight, like, hey, you know, you could potentially be fighting for a heavyweight title? When did those talks start to come about?
It happened like right before it was announced. I asked Mike for it, and Mel. I asked Mel for it, and you know, he sees potential in me. He sees what I can do. You know, I ain't no just chump and going in there. I ain't gonna put on a show. You know, I can put on any type of fight, either a quick fight or I'm gonna make a dirty, nasty fight. So, and they see what I can do. They know they see my potential, and I appreciate Mike and Mel for noticing that, because all I wanted to do was be noticed. I've been fighting it'd be 12 years on the fight day, May 28th. I've been doing mixed martial arts and fighting. So, you know, I think I paid my dues and I earned it. So.
How old were you when you got into fighting?
18.
18 years old. And when did you go pro? 18 or a little after
that?
I
fought amateur for a couple years. I was 22-3 with 19 knockouts. And I started pro at 2012, I believe it was. Yeah.
2012. Okay. So, yeah, you've been pro all 10 years.
All time, man. I feel old, like I've been doing it so long, like my body, like, bro, it might be time for you. That's another reason why I wanted to fight for the belt. Like, I'm not gonna do this forever, because like I've been doing it so long, and it's like my body telling me, yeah, you probably can't go too much longer.
Hey, you never know, man. I mean, your opponent, he's pushing 50. This guy. I mean, he's
yeah. I got a funny story with Tony though. It was when I was starting out my amateur career. I was undefeated, and we were on MySpace, and he probably don't remember, but one of my friends was like tagged him in one of my videos I had fighting. He was like, "Yeah, my boy Jordy Woods stepped up to fight you down the line," and Tony said, "F that B" to me, talking about me. And like ever since then, I hated Tony. Like I never liked him ever since then. I just never liked him because of that. Like, but now that I'm older, now I'm like, okay, I was just in my amateur, so he had to say what he had to say. But it's nothing but respect. But I still remember that day what he said on MySpace.
Wow, MySpace, man, you just brought me back. Holy shit!
I'll never let it go.
Yeah. Hey, that's fuel. That's fuel right there. You know, add that in. You know, you gotta have that. And that's an extra edge for you. You know, so. I talked to Tony. I was dying to get you on here. I know we were a little scheduling stuff, so I'm glad we got this podcast going, this interview going, because I have been dying to ask you about your thoughts. I'm going to pull this video up just for the purpose of the viewers to see what Tony Lopez said when I spoke to him about you and the fight that's coming up for this title. So I'm just going to pull this clip up real quick, and you can take a look at it. And I just want to get your response to it. So I'm going to pop this up now. I found it to be very interesting what Tony had to say. So here we go. I'm going to pull this up right now. This is actually on my Instagram page, so I'm just going to pop it up real quick. We'll share the audio.
3 or 4, that's all you get. You're not going to get into the title rounds with me.
Yeah.
Your fight with Alan Belcher, that fight right there, because it was such a good fight, and you withstood everything that this guy threw. So yeah, I can agree with you there. It's a very tough job to knock out Tony Lopez, no question about it.
You know what? It's funny because Alan Belcher and Josh Burns, both of them. I talked to them after the fight, and they got me off the couch, both of them at the same time, both off the couch. They had a hard time. This one, like I said, to me, I'm looking at like I feel like I'm gonna get some ring rust. So I might take up a little bit of training, and if I do, like I said, it's not gonna go good for Mitchell at all. That's all I'm giving him. 3 rounds. I'm gonna put him away. Looking at maybe 3.
All right. So 2 things that stood out when Tony said this to me. Okay, one, he said maybe he'll put in a little training. And 2, he's going to put you away within 3 rounds. So tell me, how do what's going on in your head when you hear stuff like that?
He better be careful. First off. And second, I mean, he can say what he want. I know that's somebody being in his ear. Oh, Mitchell ain't gonna make it 3 rounds. I'm not gonna speak on that situation, but yeah, he can say what he want. I mean, he better hope he make it to the 4th, 5th, and 6th, 7th round. That's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, man, I'm not Alan Belcher. I'm not Burns. I'm not gonna fight you technical. I mean, this is not boxing. This is bare knuckle boxing. This is a street fight. This is gonna be a war. I'm gonna be on your ass. Excuse my language if I can't cuss, but I'm not technical and let you tag me around. I'm gonna be in your face, and you better be ready and prepared for it. Because just because I'm short, these arms pack a real wallop, and you better ask about me. All my wins are by knockout. So that's don't let the body fool you.
Yeah, man.
Got more heart than anybody. You might. The only way you beat me is if a ref stop it. You're not knocking me out. I don't care how tired I get. I'm gonna be in your face, on your ass, from bell to finish. That's simple.
Wow. This is a heavyweight title fight that I'm amped to see. This is Tony Lopez.
You ready? This is the question. Is he ready to go in there and die with me? That's how you got to beat me.
Yeah, we've seen Tony fight. Tough guy to knock out. The last I think every bare knuckle fight that he's been in is pretty much gone the distance. I haven't off the top of my head. I don't recall him getting knocked out at all in bare knuckle. So a guy like that. What goes on your head with a guy like that you're going to go up against?
I've been studying him. You can't be on the outside because he's too tall and he's too long. He's gonna pick you apart. So I've been training to get in, and he's gonna feel it. Like I'm going to end up catching. He's either gonna go down, or just like I said, it's gonna be a war until one of us give up. And I don't plan on giving up, and the ref gonna have to stop it. So I mean, he just need to be prepared because I'm not about to sit there and let him piece me up. I'm gonna be in his face. Like that ring is not that big. So, and like I said, you've seen all my fights. I'm one of the most vicious fighters of all time. I don't even want to not toot my own horn, but I'm up there with Vanderlei. I feel like because I'm on you. Like I just don't stop. I don't care how tired you are. I just don't stop.
I love it, man. The intensity, the fact that when that bell rings, you're going in, and that's a fight that like I said, I can't wait to see this type of heavyweight fight because you got a guy like Lopez. He's like a zombie. He could keep going and take a lot of punishment. And then a guy like you, like I said earlier, a bull in a china closet, ready to go, ready to fight, swinging, landing power shots, dropping bombs. We've seen it. And to see those two styles mix in, I think is going to make for a bloody bare knuckle war.
Yeah, bloody war. I can already see it now. I'm probably going to have some cuts and bruises. So I'm preparing myself for the trip home after. But I'm gonna have the belt on me, so it ain't gonna bother me.
What would that feel like for you to be, not only the first BYB, heavyweight champion, but to bring home a bare knuckle heavyweight title? What would that mean to you?
Throughout my career, I have fought some Bellator vets, guys who went on the Ultimate Fighter. I fought Muay Thai champions over in Australia. I fought kickboxing champions in Monte Carlo. And out of all of that, I think winning that and beating Tony Lopez will probably be the number one thing that one of my greatest accomplishments to date. Because he is, like I said, I respect him. He's been in the game a long time. He's fought everybody. And like I said, that fight been brewing since MySpace days. I was amateur. So getting that opportunity, I feel like this will be the number one thing. My greatest accomplishment fighting right now today.
How do you see the fight going down? What's your prediction? If you had a crystal ball in front of you right now, what do you see?
First or second round, TKO or KO.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Answers back. Tony Lopez saying it's going down within 3. My man returns the favor, said 2. I like it. This is going to be a bloodbath, man. And if Tony Lopez was here right now, what would you directly have to say to this man?
kiss my ass, and I'll see you May 28th in the Tarragon.
You know, it's funny. That's something that if somebody asked me that question, that's probably similar to what I would say. Kiss my ass, bro. Let's go.
Kiss my ass, man. I'm still on that MySpace stuff. Now I'm bringing it back up.
We're bringing up some fuel, baby. It's look, man. You know, I'm gonna tell the viewers as well. You know, this is bare knuckle.
Yeah.
You never know what to expect, right? You can have the most technically sound fighter in the world against a guy that's just willing to put it all on the line. And you know what? You just never know. In bare knuckle, it's just that one shot changes the entire dynamic of the fight. Look
what happened just a few weeks ago. Beltron ain't never been knocked out, and look, 28 seconds. Look what happened. The game's changing. I'll tell you, like you said, you never know what's gonna happen. It could last. Our fight could last 7 seconds. Just that one punch in that one right spot, you just get out of there.
And that's it. And that's the exciting thing about bare knuckle. That's what stands out about bare knuckle than any other sport. I mean, yes, granted, we've seen amazing knockouts in boxing and MMA, no question about it. But there's that mystique of bare knuckle. You know, it could be just clipping your opponent, and that's all it's going to take. You know, so I can't wait to see this fight. For the fans that are watching, for the people that are going to watch the rerun, it's going down May 28th, Biloxi, BYB 10. The world bare knuckle heavyweight title is on the line. Tony Lopez, Jordan Mitchell. There is some bad blood. Now we've gotten a little deeper into the bad blood of how this beef has started. So now it's all the way back, going way back to MySpace days. My man Jordan Mitchell does not forget. He's kept this on his mind, and now it's go time in less than a month. We're almost there.
Yeah. I'm ready. I'll be first heavyweight champion.
Guarantee, baby. Stamp of approval. My man Jordan Mitchell says it's going down. Stay tuned. BYB 10, May 28th. Lopez, Mitchell, world heavyweight bare knuckle title. It is going to be a fucking war. Jordan, thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate your time, brother.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Good luck to you. So there we have it, folks. We did the doubleheader Tuesday night. Just a time for some tequila and tacos because I'm a little hungry and a little thirsty. Thank you guys for joining, hanging in there. Appreciate it. Hope you guys were entertained. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you have any requests, you want to see other fighters come on, let me know. For the fighters, shout out. Hit me up. I'm trying to do 2 now. I usually do just one person, dedicate time to just one, but I'll do 2. If that's what it takes to help you guys promote your fights, get the word out, whatever you guys need. We could make it work. We could talk about it and make it special so we could get some eyes on you and your fight. So I'm always willing to be creative with that kind of stuff. So it's going down. Tune in, BYB. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe on YouTube. It's real easy. Just type in BYB Extreme. If you don't know how to spell Extreme, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know the voice, right? You got a voice to text on there. You could do that too. But anyhow, guys, thanks again. Appreciate your time. Enjoy your Tuesday. Peace.